What's going on, coaches? Thomas here from MyCoach Ai, and today's video is going to be all about collecting feedback. Super important process that we can do with clients to improve our services over time, make sure our retention levels of clients are great, and even the clients that do not continue with our coaching just end up having a great time, leave great testimonials. All these type of things play into feedback collection, but mainly, of course, being able to improve our services. So today I want to go over a couple methods of feedback collection, a couple things to keep in mind when you do so, and also how inside of MyCoach AI you can then run that feedback collection, because we make it super easy to do through the forms feature that we're going to look into here in a second. But there's a lot of places and moments to ask for feedback. Right? You want to ask for feedback not only to improve your service, but also because this may lead to testimonials, it may lead to referrals, it may lead to the client just feeling more involved, and with that staying on longer because they're more engaged, right? So there's a ton of benefits to collect feedback. But there's also a couple things that we want to keep in mind, such as feedback collection should not be difficult for clients, right? They're essentially doing you a favor by giving you certain feedback, so we want to make it very easy for them. Quick, yes, to a degree, potentially as well, but mainly easy and seamless. And things like the processes inside of MyCoach AI are going to help with that. I'm just going to go to the library section here and find our forms section, because as I mentioned earlier, this is the main method that we use for feedback collection. Now, again, there's a lot of different moments that you may want to collect feedback, right? This can be at a set schedule, maybe like once a month. This can be relating to programs, right? A certain program comes to an end and you want to get feedback on that program specifically. It can be within check-ins, right? So maybe even weekly and bi-weekly, you do a quick little questionnaire looking if you can improve your services for the client specifically. So that's already 3 ideas. There's a lot more opportunities, ways, and moments to ask for feedback. And kind of based on which moments you choose, that also is going to decide how you can best set up these forms to do the actual feedback collection. Now, keep in mind, you can make as many forms as you'd like to, right? And they're great for onboarding, they're great for upsells, but also, once again, feedback collection. It's very powerful for. And that's because these forms are essentially flows that we can create, set out to be completed by clients at certain moments, and they're absolutely mandatory, right? So once you get your client to that point of where they should fill in the feedback, you force them through these steps and get their thoughts. So what you can do is create new forms, and I would recommend making a certain form for every type or every moment of feedback collection you're going to do, right? So this may be like a bodybuilding program. Let's say we just have a bodybuilding program, end of program feedback, right? So that's an example. We can collect feedback specifically by the end of the program. And as I'll show in a second here, we can do that by automating it on the program itself, right? It can also be general feedback. Maybe you make a different form, another form of general feedback that's happening once a month that you can manually send out to clients at any moment, right? You can also create a bit of a feedback form for when clients indicate that they're no longer going to be using your services, right? So it's like an exit survey. You can set up an exit survey, send that out to clients when they indicate they're going to discontinue with your coaching. Also great to get some of their thoughts. The big point here is make a separate form for every process or every instance that you might be collecting feedback, and then make the flow by adding the steps. Likely it's just going to consist of these questions, right? So short answers, long answers, multiple choice. You can ask certain questions like, what can we do to improve, right? Rate XYZ on a scale of 1 to 10. Right? If I was your optimal coach, what would have gone differently? There's a lot of different ways to ask this. I would also recommend using multiple choice questions. Because of what we talked about before, this needs to be easy for them. They're doing you a favor, so you want to make it not a big burden of them having to type a bunch of long answers necessarily. These can be very valuable, so do use those as well. But multiple choice can be a great way to, within a short amount of time, have 5 or 10 statements that they simply give, say, like a 1 to 10 number indicator between, right? Takes them very little time, still gives you a lot of information. So keep that in mind too. But we create our forms using the short answers, long answers, and multiple choice. And when we have our questionnaire, our feedback survey complete, we can save it and then use it at any time. So let's go over some of those examples that I just gave and how we would actually now leverage this form in those different scenarios. First of all, again, it may be related to a program. like the one that we made here, right? So if you go to your programs, and let's say we take our bodybuilding male week 1 to 4 here, and we want to use this as an exit survey for the end of the program. What we simply do is go find the end of our actual program within this program here, and we're going to go to the last day, semi-last day, whenever you want to collect this, hit the plus button, and you can then scroll down to find the add form feature. And so this is a planned automation. What you can do is add form here, schedule that one that we just created. And what's going to happen is that anyone who's on this program that reaches day number 51 of this program is automatically going to be sent this survey. It actually just pops up right the next time that they open their app once this has been prompted, and they then need to complete everything to be able to get back into their dashboard, right? So this automatically prompts. You don't even have to think about it, but you can then review it afterwards. Right? Another example is manually sending this out. And this can be useful in a lot of different scenarios. Maybe it's like a once a month type of thing, right? So maybe a client is due to give some feedback. It's been about a month and you just want to send it out to them. You don't have to schedule it like this as an automation on programs or even their schedule. You can just send it out in a moment too, right? So maybe to our friend John here, we're going to go to his metrics section, because at the metrics section, we find the forms section and the ability to immediately request a form. So in here, I can just immediately select the one that we've created, confirm and send it. And what we've now done is instantly, instantly prompted this on John's schedule. Any next time they're going to log in, they're going to see this and walk through the steps. This is, by the way, also the place to review completed forms. Okay. So once they do complete them, this is your place to go into them, review their answers, review their feedback. So keep that in mind as well. This same place is what we would use for something like an exit survey, right? Let's say John finished his programming. He's not going to continue into one of our graduation programs. He's just going to go his own way for now. We want to get some exit feedback from him. Here too, we're going to request that form, select the different one, right? Select the exit feedback form and send it out right here. Prompts automatically, they go ahead and complete it there. If you ever schedule this accidentally, you can also just remove it right here. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, again, there's more ways and more scenarios in which you may want to collect feedback. But the important thing you've understood from this video, hopefully, is the fact that for all of those processes, you can use the forms feature to set up certain forms, flows, questionnaires, then utilize those and deploy them in those different scenarios, whether that be adding them as an automation to programs or schedules, whether that may be sending them out immediately to a client in the moment. But these are great because they're mandatory for clients to go through. We can set them up to be easy and lightweight for clients to complete and allow us to, whether automated or manually, collect feedback from clients at those moments where it matters most. Helps us get better, helps us get thoughts from our clients, improve our services, and that's why it's so important. So hopefully you got some ideas from the video on how to set that up. Go check that out if you are not part yet of MyCoach Ai and want to see how we do these type of things and more. You can sign up right now for a free trial and actually try it out for yourself. Or you can also watch one of the demonstration videos on our YouTube channel. We have a link in the description here to our website, which gives you a lot more information. So definitely go check that out. And hopefully I'll see you soon on the inside.